Hello everyone, I am Deepinder Kaur, Assistant Professor, Chandigarh Group of Colleges, Landra Mohali. So today we are going to talk about data structure using Python. In this lecture, we will start with the introduction to data structure, then we'll cover the types of data structure, and in that we will cover about list, dictionary, tuples, sets in detail. So we are talking about Python. Nowadays, Python is in a trend. A very small application or even a machine learning based application are based on Python language because of its various features like fast development, easily compatible, its extensive libraries, number of lines in the code will also reduced, and object oriented, it's free and easy to use, and the last one is extensible. Because of these features, Python is now preferable over the other programming languages. So let's start with the introduction to data structure. So as suggested from the name, this is the data and structure. We have these two terms, that is data and structure, which defines we are talking about structure of our data. So it is similar to our real life. For example, we can say we have to organize our books, we have to organize our clothes, and we have to organize other elements based on different type of data, or we can say different type of material. In programming language, we are also dealing with the data. So we have to organize this data, or we have to deal with this data in a programming languages. So to organize data, to managing data, and to store data. So this procedure will be opted, or this can be operated by using data structure. So the feature data structure will allow us to organize our data in such a way so that we can efficiently use our data to perform different kind of operations, or to relate the data, or to manage our data. So this is the basic introduction of data structure. So next come to the types of data structure. When we talk about type of data structure, we have two types of data. One is built-in data structures, and second is user-defined data structure. As the name suggests, built-in means which is already available in the library of Python, and that data types are list, dictionary, tuple, and sets. But when we talk about user-defined data structure, that means these data structures can be defined by user, and these are stacks, queues, trees, linked list, and graphs. In a brief, list is basically, we can say, it stores our data in a sequential manner, whereas dictionary is used to store the data with the key and value pairs. Tuple can use to store the data similar to list, but in tuple we can't change, we can't modify our data. Set simply represents the data elements with the unique values. That means the elements contained in sets is always a unique, not repeated values will be there in the set. So next we talk about user-defined data structures. So we have stacks. Stack is basically, it is based on the principle of LIFO, that is last in, first out. We can implement this data structure by using list also, and in that when we put data elements one by one, when we have to remove the data elements, the last one will be out first. So it follows the principle of LIFO, whereas queue follows the principle of FIFO, that is first in, first out. So the data which is entered very first, that will be removed from the list, that will be removed from the queue very first. Then the tree is simply a hierarchical kind of structure where we have our data in a place of root, and then its child is there. So it is a kind of hierarchical structure. It can be binary, it can be ternary, and more than that also. Next is a linked list. Linked list is a kind of data element where we have two values or two data elements in one pack. Like first is the value of data, and second is address for the next data item. In linked list, every element is connected to each other. So these data items are connected to each other, and the first item contains the address of second. Next is the graph. Graph is similar to designing, or it's a kind of data structure which follows some kind of structure, like it use nodes, and between that nodes there will be edges. So it's a kind of data structure where we have to talk about, where we can talk about the. So this is the basic of our data structure, types of data structure. Let's start with the built-in data types, that is list, dictionary, tuple and sets in detail. In this lecture, we will cover about all the operations performed on these data structures. So start with the list. As we have already discussed, list is used to store data, different type of data in a sequential manner. Here we have addresses assigned to the data, and that address is called as a index value. Index value starts from 0 and it goes to whatever the number of elements you have in your data list. So how we can create a list in Python? It's very simple to create a list in Python. Simply what we have to do, we have to take one variable. That variable can be anything. So we have to start with the variable, and then we use square braces for the list. When we write it like this form, in this form, it will create a list. It will create an empty list. But if we want to put some data items into that list, what we have to do, we have to put our data into that square braces. Whatever number of elements you want to pass to your data list, you can add into your list, and you have to separate the data items by using comma. So simply if you want to add some elements into the list, you can simply write A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you want to add any kind of any other kind of data like float data type, that is 4.5, or a string data type, that is ABC, you can also add that. So in list we can add different type of data, and it is very simple to add data into the list. So this is about how we can create our list. So next we have how we can add elements into the list. If we have one existing list, then how we can add data into that existing list? We have three different functions. One is append, second is extend, and third is insert. It depends on our requirement, or our requirement, that what method we have to use, or what method we can use. So we have these three methods: append, extend and insert. All three methods perform differently. So starting with the append. What append will do? Append will take the whole data as a single element. For example, if we have A is equal to, we have already a list A where we have elements 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we want to add some elements but as a single, like I want to add here 5, 6, but as a single element. So we have to use this append function. How we can use this append function? It's very simple. Just we have to write the name of the variable where your elements of list is there, and with the dot we can call function append. And then what we can do, we have to add these elements which we want to append in the list. So this is 5, 6 in a square braces. So what append will do? Append will do add or insert these elements into the list as it is, as a whole. For example, in a result, it will give us a list like A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6 in a single index, on a single index value. So here this one is on index 0, this one is on 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is on 4th index. Both values are on the same index because we append this data by using append function. But if we use extend function here instead of append, so what it will do, if we write here a dot extend, so extend will add data items one by one. So when we use this extend function, our output is somewhere like this. A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 are already in the list, and this is 5 and 6. We have added here 5 and 6, and this is the part of your list. And if we can see, here is the index value 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4 and 5, and so on. Whatever elements you want to add, you can add here, and you can extend your list whenever you want to add your data. The last function is the insert function. How this function will perform? It will take index value. So when you have to put some data item into the specific location, then you can use this insert function. Otherwise you can use append or extend, whatever your requirement. For example, we want to insert data item in this list A on the first index value. So what we have to do, we have to insert in A, and we can write here like A dot insert. Then we have to write here the index value where we want to place our data. So we write here 1, comma, whatever data you want to add, whatever data you want to place here, you can place. Like I want to add ABC here, so what I can write is A dot insert 1, that is index value, and then value is ABC. So the resultant list will be like something like this. This is A, already kya tha 1, and then it's ABC, then it's 2, 3 and 4. That list will be extended by itself. Simply the index value which you have provided, that value will be appended on that location. So these are the 3 different methods which we can use to add our data element into our list. Next we have how we can delete our elements. So similar to our adding operation, deleting operation also have 3 different methods. We have one del keyword which we can use to delete our data items. Next we have pop function. This is also used to remove data items, and last we have a remove function to remove a data item. But similarly, all these functions will perform differently, and we can use it according to our requirement. So if you want to delete the whole list, you can use clear function, clear method. Similar, let's see with the example how we can delete and how elements will be deleted by using this these methods. So we have a list A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 and ABC. So these are the data items we have in our list. So if we use this remove function, first we'll discuss about the remove function. What remove function will do and how remove function will perform, we have to give the value which we want to delete. So simply A dot remove. For example, I want to remove this 5.5 value. So what we have to write here, A dot remove 5.5. So it will remove this 5.5 from the list. So remove method will call the value from its value only, not from the indexes. But the other methods work based on the index value. Pop and del keyword both perform similarly, but there is one difference in that we will discuss it later. So let's discuss about the pop function. We have a list, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 and this one is ABC. Okay, so when we use this pop function, if you write here simply A dot pop, this will work as a LIFO, that is as a stack. It will perform, it will remove the elements from the end of the list. It will directly remove this ABC from the list. But if we want to remove some specific element, we we have to define the index. So what we can do, we can write here index value. For example, I have written here 2, that means it will remove 0, 1, 2, this value. It will remove this value from the list because its index value is 2. So pop function uses the index value, or without any index value, it will remove the last element which we put into the list. Next we have del keyword. This pop will return us some data items. When we use this and we want to store this value, if we want to remove some data item from the list and then you want to save it to that item into somewhere, then you have to use this pop function. If you use del keyword, it will remove your data item, but you will not get that item into any variable or anywhere. It's simply remove the data, but pop will return us the data item. So if you want to store that data item, you can store this data item into any variable or any other list. If you want to store, so you can add in any other list as well. So a dot pop 2, what it will do, it will remove this item from the list and it will add this item into this variable. So 3 will be added into the P. But in the del keyword, del is similar to this. We can delete with the index value. Like if we delete 1, it will remove this value, but it will not return us anything. So the value will be removed from the list or removed from the memory. So that is the difference between del and pop function, and according to our requirement we can use these functions, either remove, either pop, either del, or if you want to delete whole list, you can use clear function. So this is about the deleting element. Next we have accessing elements. So as we know, we have already discussed about the index values. So these are the most important parameters, we can say, which is used to access our data elements. So we use index values to access our data in different way. Or like for example, we have a list A is equal to 1, 2, 3 and 4. And if we want to access all the data items in one go, we simply access it. Like if you want to print all the data item, simply write here print A. It will display you it will give you output like 1, 2, 3 and 4. But if you want your data item one by one, then you have to use the iterative statement, that is your for loop. And for that, what you can do is simply write here for I in A. A is what? A is your list. We use indentation here to perform different operations. For I in A, print I. So it will get the print A, sorry. It will get element value one by one and print it like 1, 2, 3 and जो भी आपके यहाँ पे values होगी like 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so next if we want to print some specific value, so we can give them the that index value from which we can access our data element. So we can call our specific index value and we can access any data item from our list. A of 1 will return as this value, that is equal to 2. A of 3 will return us 0, 1, 2, 3, that is 4. And if we want to access more than one value within a range, so we can use this is something like this. We can declare it as a 0 to 2. It will give us a value on a 0 index, first index, but it excludes the second index. So it will return us and give us the output 1 and 2. So this is basically how we can access our elements by using list. We have another operation by using which we can reverse our list, and that is simply we can use it like a double colon. it's simply we have a list A, we can use it like double colon minus 1. It will display our list in a reverse order and it will give us an output like 4, 3, 2 and 1. So this is basically how we can access our elements by using different index values, by using range index values, or by using reverse operations. We can access our data element from the list using Python. So next we have different operations which we can perform on our list. Okay, that functions, that operations are, we have different functions like length, index, count and sort or sorted. So these are different functions which we can use in Python for list or for return some values. Like length will return us the length of our list. Index function find that index value and call that value from the list. Count will give us the count of that element or number of that element or repeated sequence of that element. Sorted and sort will use to sort our elements. So simply we have to call these functions for a list and these functions will return us simple outputs. Whatever the functions are, they can perform as it is. For example, we have this list A, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if we write here length of A, that is len of A, it will return us 4 because we have 4 data elements into our list. Next function is the index. So if we want to find where the element is, like if you want to find that location of this 3, so what you can do, you can use this index A dot index and write here 3. It will give you the index value or we can say address value of this 3, which is 0, 1 and 2, and that is 2. Count will give us the number of that element or that value existing in the list. For example, we have a list with element like 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, something like this, and we want to count A dot count of 3. 3 now exists 3 times, so this will give us outcome 3. This will give us an output like 3 values. If we want to count 2, A dot count of 2, it will return us 1 and 2, it will return us 2. So simply it will count the number of times that value will be repeated into our list. Next is a sort function. Sort function perform sorting. So we can perform sorting by directly using sort function. This sort function is based on a sorting algorithm named as TimSort. TimSort is basically a hybrid combination of two algorithms. The first algorithm is the merge sort and the second algorithm is the insertion sort. So simply it will use these two algorithms and sort that elements. But if you want to use some other algorithm, because we have number of sorting algorithms are there in data structure, so you can use any algorithm as per your convenience. But if you don't want to use any algorithm, we have this sort function in Python and we can use this directly to sort our data elements. So this is all about the other function we have or other operations which we can perform on the list. So this is all about the list. Next we move to the second data structure, that is dictionary. We have already discussed about the dictionary, that dictionary have a pair of values, like we have key and value pairs. So dictionary will return us a value kind of data with this form. Where we can use this data, it's the very simple example of this is the telephone directory, where we have some names of the person and then their number was there. So this is a simple example of our dictionary. So when we have some kind of data which represented by two things. One is with the key and second one with the value. Then we always prefer dictionary, and dictionary provides us two things, that is one is key and other one is value. How we can create a dictionary? We can create a dictionary like for list we use square braces, but for dictionary we use curly braces. So we can use curly braces to create our dictionary. So if we write here A is equal to this curly braces, it will create a simple empty dictionary. But if you want to add some data items into that, you can put your data item into key and value pairs. Simple example, for example, you want to add your keys like 1, so keys will be keys and values pair will be combined, and that will be separated by colon. Then your value, it will be anything whatever you want, like if you want something like ABC, you can write here ABC. All the key and value pairs will be separated by comma, then second XYZ and so on. Whatever number of elements you want in your dictionary, you can add into your dictionary. So this is the simple how we can create our dictionary. Next we will move to the how we can add data items, or we can change data items into the dictionary, because we are not talking about list where we have to delete or remove or add the data into some specific value, some index value. Now we are dealing with the key and value pairs. So next we have how we can change our data, or how we can add our values or add our keys which is already available in the dictionary. So for that what we can do, we have to access the keys or values. So to change the data we need the keys. That is the most important factor in a dictionary, because in dictionary we have keys and values. So we can access our data by using these keys, and we can remove our data by using these keys. Keys are the most important factor here. With the help of that we can remove our data, or with the help of that we can add our data. So if you simply want to change any element from your list, you can simply write here the key, and whatever the value you want to assign, you can assign that value. In this example we have a dictionary where we have two elements with the key first and second and the values Python and Java, and now we want to change the value of this second key from Java to C++. So what we have done, we simply assign the C++ value to the second key. Similarly, if we want to add another item into the list, simply give the another key, whatever value you want to give that will not be similar to these already available keys, it need to be different. So when this key will be different, item will be placed at the end of your dictionary. So in this example, when we add this third as a Ruby, we'll get the output like something like this. First is Python, second is C++, and third is Ruby. This is how we can change our values, or how we can add our values all available in the dictionary. So next we have how we can delete our values from the dictionary. So in dictionary, as we already discussed, we have the keys. So we need to use that keys to remove the elements from our dictionary. So in that dictionary, for example, we have this dictionary is first Python, second Java, and third Ruby. We have keys like first, second, third, and the values are Python, Java, and Ruby. We can delete our elements by using method pop function. We have two methods here, pop and pop item. Here also we can use clear to clear, or to empty our dictionary we can directly use clear function, but to remove some specific item we can use pop and pop item. So now what is the difference between pop and pop item? Pop will remove only the value, but pop item will remove the pair of key and value. That is basically a difference between our pop and pop item. So when we want to remove any element, what we can do is simply write dot pop function with the key value whichever you want to remove. Here we, with this example, we have this third and we want to remove this value, so this value will be removed. As we know, we are using pop, that means pop will return us the value of this key. Here pop will return us ruby and ruby will be stored into this a variable. So we'll get the value, if we print here this a, will get the value here ruby. And next, similarly, if you want to remove both key and value, we can use pop item. Pop item will remove both key and value, and if you want to see here key value pair, this will also return both the values. And if we use this pop item, it will give us the output, like if we give here directly write pop item, we are not passing here any index value, so it will remove the element from the end, similar to stack. So it will remove the end values second and Java, and then we will store that value into B variable and it is displayed like this. So we can use both the functions depending on requirement. Whatever the requirement you have, if you want to remove a single data item, you can use only the value, you can use pop function, but if you want to remove key and value, then you can use pop item. So this is how we can remove our data from the dictionary. So next, how we can access our elements, we already discussed about this. We can access our element by using index values, so direct key values. So directly we can access element with the key, or we have one other function, that is get function. So get function will also take a key as an input and return us whatever the item, whatever the value you want to display. So we can also use get function to get the value, like in this example, on first key, with the first key we have Python, with the second key we have Java, and these are the outputs we get by using directly key value and by using get function. So both work similarly and will provide us the whatever data element we want to access. So next we have some other functions in dictionary as well. We have keys, values and items. So keys is simply to access only the key values from a dictionary, whereas values will be used to access values, all the values of our dictionary, and item is used to access both key and value. So simply if we write here in this example, if we write here m dictionary my underscore dictionary dot keys, it will return us first, second and third, this one. And if we write here values, it will return us Python, Java, Ruby, this one. And if we write here items, it will return us both keys and values. And if we want some specific value, we can also use get function. Get function will also perform like we access the element, so we can also use get function to access the element with the specific key. So if you want to access this Python, you can write here first. If you want to access Java, you can write here second, and so on, whatever elements you have and how you want to access that items. So this is all about dictionary. So now we'll discuss about the third element, third data structure, that is tuple. Tuple is similar to list. The only difference is that when we have to perform some kind of operations where we don't want to modify our values, then we use tuple, because tuple can't be changed no matter what the matter. So we use tuple only when we have to store the items which we don't want to modify. So how we can create tuple? Like list uses square braces, dictionary uses curly braces with key and value, tuple can be created by using a round braces. So when you want to create a tuple, simply write the element values in a round braces. It will be created and value will be 1, 2 and 3. That all values will be stored into this tuple variable. So next is how we can access elements. Similar to list, we can access tuple element by using index values. For example, we have this tuple 1, 2, 3 and this some kind of string value. We can access this as it is. We can access all the items in one go by using directly calling this variable, or if you want to access elements one by one, you can use your iterative statement and you can access the data items. But if you want to access some specific index value or some specific data item, you can use the index values and access data items. For example, in this variable, this is my underscore tuple 2. If you want to access this 3, so what we have to do, we have to write here index value of this 3. This is 0, 1 and 2. So if you want to access 3, you need to write here index value, that is 2. But if you want to access all the elements, you can use here colon. Colon is represented to for all. It will give you all the data elements available in your tuple. Similarly, we can also return our value, return our specific character value from this string which is added into the tuple. How we can do this? For example, we have a is equal to 1, 2 and ABC. We know this the index value of 1 is 0, the index value of 2 is 1 and this index value of ABC is 2. So if we want to access this ABC, what we can write? A of 2. But if we want to access this B only, so what we can do is we can write here this string index value, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. So we write here 1, it will return us B, not the full ABC. So we can also access data elements. If we have string elements into our tuple, we can access any of the character from that string value depending on their index value. This is how we can access the elements in the tuple. So next we have how we can append the elements and some other function which is used in a tuple. So we can append data elements into a tuple by using plus operator. So this is only one way to append our data in a tuple. So what we have to do, we have to use this plus operator and then the new tuple values we want to place into the existing tuple. So it will give us an outcome like this. 1, 2, 3 is already in the tuple and we have added 4, 5, 6. So 4, 5, 6 is appended into the existing tuple. So we can append the values by using plus operator. We can't modify the value, but we can append the value into the tuple. So next is we have some functions like we have in the list. If we want to count the values, we can use count. If we want some specific index value, we can use index values, or we can access values by directly using the index values. So this is how we can perform operations on our tuple. So this is all about the tuple, and next we have sets. So set is basically an unordered pair of collection. Unordered pair of collections or unordered data items which are unique. Simply we can say if we have a list or a data items, values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 2, 3. These are the values you have, but when we set it as a set, it's provide us only the unique values. That means we will get the output like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. because 2 and 3 are already existing, we'll get only these values as an outcome of this set. So set will provide us the values, only the unique values. It is similar to the mathematical set which we are using in the mathematics subject. So it's similar to it's similar to that one. So like how we can create a set, we have to use curly braces here to create our sets, and we can separated our values by using comma, and whatever number of values you want to add, whatever number of values you want to add into the sets, you can add into your set. So for example, we want to create a set with 1, 2, 3, 4 and 4. It will return as an output as a 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is basically the set created by using Python. So when we want to add the specific element into the existing set, we can add it, but directly using add method. Here we have add method, or we can say add function, which is used to insert data item into the end of the set. So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and we want to add 5 here, so simply write this is a dot add 5. It will give us output like a is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So this is the outcome by when we want to add element into the set. So next we have operation in sets. So we have different operations in set which we use in mathematics as well, like we use union operation, intersection operation. That is very similar to that one. Union will provide us the data items available in two sets, all the data items available in the sets. Intersection will provide us only the common values, whereas difference will provide us the difference will delete the values and then provide the values from the one set, but symmetric difference will delete the values, whatever the common values, and provide the return the values from both the sets. Okay, so with example we can clear these concepts. So we have this set, this is a is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and the second set we have b is equal to 3, 4, 5, 6. So when we perform a union operation, what we have to do, we need two data sets. We have one set that is A, another set is B. What we have to do, A dot union B. So when we do this, it will provide us all the data item existing into that set. So that means it will give us outcome like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. But if we write here A dot intersection, intersection will provide us only the common value A dot intersection B. It will give us a result like 3 and 4, because 3 and 4 is only the common values present in both sets, both A and B. So next we have this difference function. So when we use A dot difference of B, what it will do, it will delete the common items and return the item from the first set only, that is from the A only. So it will provide us output 1 and 2. But if we use symmetric difference, this is the symmetric difference. Symmetric difference also help us to remove the data items 3 and 4, common items will be removed from that, but we will get the items from both A and B and will get the output like 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6. So this is the outcome which we get by using difference and symmetric difference. So these are the operation we can perform on the sets. So this is all about the basic data structure elements we have in Python, that is list, tuple, dictionary and sets.